G'day guys, Paul here from DCS. Excited today to go over the Gen 2 integrated MPPT charger hybrid batteries. As a lot of you might be aware, we've been developing this product line since 2018. After 7 years, this is where we're at with this particular product line. A lot of upgrades, a lot of different cell chemistries that have been optimized over the years, and I'm going to go over the key features and some of the cool stuff that this product line now has. So first of all, what do you get in the box? So you get the two batteries, so 130 amp hour left-hand positive, and you get 130 amp hour right-hand positive. Now, why are you getting a left and a right? Because you can put the two terminals together, and now standing in the box, you're getting the correct buzz bars designed for these batteries, okay? So there's no excuses for sloppy wiring anymore. Out of the box, designed to be installed side by side, buzz bars, and then you've got your solar MPPT input. Also included in the boxes, you're getting your MPPT cable. So it's a 90-degree aviation connector that's IP65 rated. Okay, so that guy screws straight in to the top of one of the batteries. So one of them's got the integrated charger. Okay, so that screws in there. And you can plug your solar straight into the Anderson plug. Obviously, you can't extend this cable, and your solar panel, being a high voltage panel, is going to be able to be fitted at least, or positioned at least 5 to 10 meters away from the actual battery bank. So you've got that flexibility there. Also in the box, you've got your load disconnect. So it's a Victron Smart Battery Protect, is that we like to recommend and use. All your loads run through that load disconnect, so that if the batteries get down to that 10, 15, 20% state of charge, it's going to isolate and cut your loads off, allowing enough juice so you can start your car, or start your engine in your boat, or wherever you're using these things for. So all integrated seamlessly. That's everything you get out of the box, and obviously all integrated through the DCS Lithium app, so you can connect to these batteries and see the individual solar charge current. So you can see what solar supply, what your solar regulator is actually doing. So everything all integrates seamlessly through the DCS Lithium app. All right, so solar panel sizes. Everybody always asks, how big of a solar panel can I run? Virtually no limit. So these MPPT chargers have got an 80 volt maximum input voltage, and they're designed to run 20 amps continuous on the output. So you can typically run between 400 and 600 watts of solar straight into this regulator. That's kind of the optimum power range, somewhere between 400 and 600. And then minimum, if you want to get trickle charging in, and you don't have a lot of space on top of your roof racks, on top of your bimini or your center console or cabin boat, probably something at least 120 watts would be minimum, to get a bit of juice and performance out of the solar side. Every bit will help. So even if you go down to a small 80 watt panel, still going to offset your fridge and some basic loads over sunlight hours anyway. If you put a good 600 watt solar panel on the back of this reg, you can easily produce upwards of 100 amp hours a day. So, you can charge off one solar panel, you can put 50% of the capacity in per day, just to put that in perspective. So best practice of the solar panels, or panel, is to run a single panel or two smaller ones in parallel. Don't run solar in series, okay? So get one decent sized panel, the largest one that will fit. It's going to give you somewhere around a 30 or 40 volt output, which is ideal. So that's the most important thing with the solar side of things. All right, so we've got a vehicle specific kit for the Land Cruiser 200 series. You get a pair of these brackets, which are laser cut, CAD designed specifically for the vehicle. These are made by a very competent supplier right here in Brisbane. They're designed specifically for the car and for the batteries. When you torque down your securing nut to lock these into place, remember it's only 4 Newton meters on the nut. Okay, so once it's slightly torqued, that's it. It locks the batteries in and they can't go anywhere. There has been a number of customers over the years just keep cranking down on these nuts to the point where you completely destroy and bow out the batteries and then destroy the internals. So inside the batteries, I'm going to show it to you in a second, there is a metal frame. And when you torque this bracket down, you're talking against a metal chassis of the battery cell internally. So it's metal to metal contact. So it's sturdy and can't go anywhere. If you keep cranking down on it, you're going to destroy and start collapsing the internal brackets inside the battery packs. So 4 Newton meters, and it shouldn't go anywhere for 5 years. Don't have to touch it again. All right, so I've cut open one of the battery packs. This is from 2021, from the Gen 1s. Now you can see there's a metal chassis inside the whole battery pack, and the ABS plastic is simply a cosmetic finish. So the internal frame has a safety cage for the battery cells. So if the vehicle's ever involved in a front-end collision, it's going to compress the whole chassis but keep everything intact. So it's a very safe design from that perspective. And these two metal brackets is what support the lids. So in relation to the 200 series holding clamps, once you clamp down, okay, that's it. It's metal to metal contact. So you don't have to keep cranking. Just that 4 Newton meters and the battery's not going to go anywhere. Now, obviously, if you don't have the luxury or the ability or the space to put the batteries side by side, you can go end to end, use the shortest length cables you can for your parallel connections. And super important, again, like the 200 series Land Cruiser kit, the batteries are approximately 1.5 meters apart from each other. So you're going to be running 1,500 long parallel cables. Don't forget the negative. It's amazing over the years how many installations we've come across where the customer forgets to put the negative cable in, actually even the auto electrician, the fitter, and the customer rolls out of the workshop on one battery. If you don't put a negative in on a parallel connection, you're running on one battery pack, okay? Intermittently on the other one, depending on how the rest of the wiring is run. So super important that you have both positive and negative parallel cables installed, because that is the most important thing when you're running two batteries in parallel. So taking a look at the little baby brothers here, the twin 90s. So you're getting two 90 amp hour batteries, 180 amp hours combined. Again, buzz bars included inside the boxes insulated for you as well. So hopefully you can just drop them in side by side, and it just creates for a beautiful, perfect parallel connection. Okay, and obviously your solar connector then plugs in. So for example, the 300 series Land Cruiser kit, that was designed to have this exact setup. So two batteries side by side in perfect parallel. So that's your connector. And obviously once that's plugged in, you can plug in and out of the solar connector. Now with this current generation of batteries, the MPPT chargers do have the ability for these to be hot swapped. So if you're not running a fixed panel, on these batteries now you can simply plug in whenever you like from your portable solar panel. If you throw one out on the windscreen or throw one out over the bonnet, yeah, throw it out, plug it straight in, and away you go. You can disconnect them under load now, okay? So not on the first generation, but on the second gens you can. So it's another little feature that we added to the chargers. All right, so we're going to have a look at the internals now of this current generation of batteries. And you can see, like our premium line of batteries, the SIM lines, battery management system is under here, fully sealed and potted like this. The MPPT charger on top, obviously all sealed and potted as well. So all the electronics are fully waterproof inside these batteries. Nice big mounting block as well, so it gives you really nice lid support. Once these things are glued and sealed at the factory, you're getting the perfect connection and nice rigid platform. The question that comes up quite often is, once I've cranked my outboard motor or my engine, will it charge from solar and from the alternator at the same time? Yes, absolutely. That's exactly how the system works. So, say you got a 300 outboard motor. As soon as you crank that motor, the alternator is obviously charging, starts to fast charge these batteries, irrespective of how much solar is there as well. So you're always getting the combined solar plus alternator charging current to the batteries to keep them topped up very fast. For example, like a 300 horsepower Merc outboard, they have quite large alternators now on them, up around 80 amps, which is about a kilowatt. So once you've cranked over the motor, you know, if you're getting 10 amps of solar and say 50 amps of alternator current, you're fast charging these at 60 amps. So 2-3 hours on the motor, or, you know, blasting around on a sunny day, and you really top these batteries up very quickly. A standard fridge will run for the best of 4 or 5 days on a fully charged pair of batteries. If you have a 400 to 600 watt solar panel on the back of the solar rig here, you're virtually running a fridge, lights and stuff indefinitely. You're never going to be able to flatten the batteries. And if you do get to that 20% mark, obviously your load disconnect will cut off your accessories, so you know you can run up and crank over the engine and get going again. Go for an hour blast if it's heavy overcast conditions, and you know, your fridge will run for another day or two. So super bulletproof, super simple system. So for example, guys, let's say you didn't program the settings correctly on your load disconnect and you get caught out in the middle of nowhere. As long as you got solar, just got to wait a little bit, get 1-2% of power back into your batteries, and already at 2% state of charge, this is going to give you over 1,000 cranking amps. So turn over just virtually any outboard motor, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder engine. So like we showed in our Simpson Desert video. So we also get asked a lot, and we get a few calls on the tech support line, people asking, how do you jumpstart these batteries, right? So lithium batteries are essentially a big jump pack. So once you get a little bit of juice back into them, that's your jump pack. You're starting that car and off you go. So you're not actually jumping these. Let's say you flatten the batteries for whatever reason. You don't want to go jumping these off another vehicle, you know, and so you basically just need to get a bit of charge back into them. So top them up for solar. You can also run solar directly to the terminals if you ever have to. Make sure you disconnect all your loads if you're going to do that. Or just get a mains charger onto it for a couple of minutes. Worst case, if you have to jump off another vehicle and you're going to be using jumper leads, what I'd suggest to do is connect the jumper leads to these batteries first, go back to the other car, connect your negative jumper lead, and connect the positive for probably 10 to 15 seconds, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of current flowing into these batteries. So connect it, just count 10 seconds, let go. Okay, disconnect the other end from these batteries, go in and jump and start the car, okay? So you're not actually jumping the batteries from the other vehicle, you're just going to pre-charge the batteries through your jumper leads from the other vehicle. That's what you want to do. So again, just on the load disconnects, people install them inside engine bays, right? Read the instructions. They cannot go in the engine bay. They're not rated, not ingress rated for being inside engine bays. They will depower, they'll switch off from the heat, corrode the pins and contacts. The thing will stop working eventually. So this goes in the back of the car, nice and close to your loads. So you're running a thick gauge cable to your input, okay, and running all your low voltage accessories, low load accessories on the output. So your fridge, your lights, your travel buddy oven, you know, all your small things. Your inverter, all your heavy loads can go to the input. So your compressor, your air compressor, your inverter, all the big stuff goes in the input. So that becomes your distribution point inside the car, in the back of the car. Also, off the input, for example, you can run to the Anderson plug in the back of your car, which your trailer plugs into, and the DC-DC charger inside your caravan or your boat trailer takes its power from the input, which is going directly from the batteries. And then you can program your DC-DC charger in the trailer based on the voltage reference that you're getting, okay, from this post. So that's another little thing to be mindful of. So these batteries are designed for a very wide range of applications. So obviously rated for under-bonnet installations on side four-wheel drives, engine rooms inside boats and sailing boats and motorboats, and obviously any normal application where, you know, you want dual batteries, you want the redundancy, You got the integrated solar and you got this beautiful storage system. They are backed with a 3-year warranty. You even get a 70% retention guarantee with that warranty as well. That's across the full range of applications. If you get it installed by us here at Coomera at our workshop or by one of our approved installers, you're going to get an extra 6 months warranty. So you're getting 3.5 years on these batteries now. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you learned something about the cool range of hybrid batteries, and we'll see you out in the tracks.